The part of the reading that resonated with me the most was the part about confidentiality. You, as the professional, realize how important confidentiality is, and you emphasize that to the group on a regular basis, but at the end of the day, you can't control what they're going to do. So if group members are out hanging out with each other outside of the group and maybe gossiping about each other, forming cliques, or posting private information online, you've got to confront that behavior because it's going to affect the cohesion and trust within your group and prevent effective work. The NASW Code of Ethics is sort of a framework to make you aware of professional boundaries. It's obviously not going to spell out every single specific ethical dilemma that you encounter with a step-by-step process of how to handle it, but it is going to make you aware of those general professional boundaries. Social workers are human beings, and human beings do have biases, and biases get in the way of effective social work practice. So it's important to be self-aware so that you can get supervision anytime that you notice that you have a bias against a client. One aspect that I will need to improve on to be an effective group leader is definitely confrontation. Just like the situation I mentioned in number 1, sometimes you're going to have to confront people about unacceptable behavior or maybe destructive tendencies. Sometimes you need to offer a little bit of tough love. And it's definitely uncomfortable for me to hurt people's feelings, even if it's for their own good. But sometimes it's necessary, so I will definitely have to work on that. When do you need to consult with other professionals? And I would say, again, that's anytime you notice that you have a bias. Whether it be a group member who has annoying tendencies, or they remind you of somebody that you just can't stand, so you automatically just don't like them. So you have to get supervision to make sure that you're treating them fairly. Or on the other side of things, there might be a group member that you relate to on a higher level than other group members, and you need to make sure that you're not showing them favoritism or solely focusing on them. What can you do to avoid becoming a culturally encapsulated group member? I definitely think you have to be aware of other cultures and what people in those cultures are comfortable with. You have to realize that your lens and the way that you see the world is not the way that everybody else sees it. What kind of clients do you feel like you would work best with? And I would say it's probably easiest to work with people who are a lot like you, people who share your values, people who have been through similar experiences as you. And on the other side of that, it's probably more difficult to work with people whose values conflict with yours. And how does this knowledge help you to prevent issues that bring about liability? Well, my job as a social worker is not to shove my beliefs down somebody's throat. My job is to help people help themselves within their own set of values and their own lens and how they see the world. And related to this question, I found a quote from Brené Brown, who writes about empathy quite a bit, and it says, "In order to empathize with someone's experience, you must be willing to believe them as they see it and not how you imagine their experience to be." In order to create an environment that's not culturally encapsulated, you have to be able to see the world from other people's perspective, because your view is not the universal view, and you can't force your viewpoints on other people.